Raid Shadow Legends. Today we're going to go over everything Coldheart. When you should level her up, when you should use her, where you should use her, how you should gear her, what her mastery should be, and what kind of damage she does, and the team you need to build around her to make sure she can survive and you can do well with her. Now, if you're brand new to the game, you just got Coldheart, you've seen everything about her, you're so happy that you got her, do not take her to 60. She is not one of the first 5 you should take to 60. She's very fragile. She needs good gear and she needs support. So don't do that. She will be 60. You'll be disappointed. She'll sit in probably your vault like she's done for many people until they get further in the game and progress, and then they have the gear and the support to bring her out. Otherwise, you will have a dead Coldheart and you will not be satisfied. Now, if you are going to play her early game, take her to 50, give her gear that makes her super tanky, and give her accuracy, because she still will be effective with her A3, her skill 3, where it depletes the turn meter of the enemy, and it does massive damage based on enemy max HP and attack. But that's okay, as long as it's enemy max HP, even the attack portion doesn't matter. All we need to do is give her a high crit, 70% crit, because her skill 3 gives her a plus 30% crit. That will put us at 100, and then she'll deplete the turn meter. So in the beginning, early, mid-game, you want to make sure that you give her good accuracy and you give her some high survivability. Don't worry about the gear. Make sure you give her on her chest piece, HP defense percentage, whatever you need to do. Same thing with boots. Same thing with the neck. Later on, we can go to crit damage for the gloves. We can go to crit damage for the neck. We can go to other things. Even my Coldheart still has 60% HP for her chest piece, because I got to keep her alive. I got to make sure she can at least take a hit. She even has speed boots. So I'm not trying to make her all attack. I just want to make sure that I get 70% crit and then I get as high crit damage as possible. That way on that skill 3, I do a massive amount of damage to the dragon, to the fire knight, and to the spider. So whenever I fight those bosses, they have high HP, and I can deplete their turn meter. You can't do it on the dragon, unfortunately, but on the fire knight and on the spiders, it's very important to deplete that turn meter so you'll have faster runs. So again, early game, if you want to play around with her, take her to 50. Do not take her to 60 as your first 5. As your first 5, do not take her to 60. There are far better champions you can take to 60 first to progress and do well in and to get stronger with, and then you can take her to 60 and do much better, right? Also, with Coldheart, you need a good supporting cast. You need a good team that will keep her alive, that either, saves her butt or brings her back to life, or you're at end game and you're just plowing through content and you don't have to worry about any of your champions dying. Then you got it made. Then it is no problem. Okay, let's talk about her skills. So on her skill 1, she attacks 4 times, which is very good for Fire Knight. Each one has a chance to place a 100% heal reduction, which is also very good for Fire Knight. So she's fantastic there if you can make it through. Her skill 2 has a 3-turn cooldown, does an AoE, can apply a decreased accuracy, and then also if there is a heal reduction on the target, you can do a 5% poison. Her skill 2 really doesn't come into play very much for anything. We're not worried about that. If it's an AoE, it goes off, we're good to go. Her skill 3, Heart Seeker, is where it's all at. This is where everybody loves Coldheart, because her skill 1, of course, is multi-hit, and her skill 3 is the Heart Seeker that depletes the turn meter completely, 30% additional chance to crit, and damage increase according to enemy max HP and attack. It just hits really, really hard, and depleting the turn meter is just insane. Let's go over her masteries here. So for her masteries, it's really up to you. I've done a complete mastery guide on offense, defense, and support by themselves alone, 10 minutes each, going over each individual one. Look at those guides if you're not sure what to do with offense. It's very simple. It's not complicated at all once you read through it all and you understand what I'm talking about. So always go crit damage. That way we can make sure we get high crit and crit damage on Coldheart, which is what we want. And then I go down here and I bring it down so I get additional damage based, because the enemy will have more max HP than I do, which is pretty much anything in game. And then, you can go whatever else you want. Cycle of Violence I like to get because she will hit hard, and she does have a chance to decrease a random skill cooldown by 30% if she exceeds 30% of their max HP. Now her skill 3 will always do this, so there's always a chance that I could get Cycle of Violence to proc on her skill 3. And then I go down here and I do Flawless Execution because I want highest crit damage as possible for her skill 3. Up to you. If you want to go Giant Slayer, you can go Giant Slayer. That is fine. It will make her skill 1 harder. If you're doing Dragon's 20 and you just want her 4-hit skill 1 to hit the dragon. Now remember, It's random. Her skill 1 is random. So they're all 4 not going to always hit the spider. And the spider will take about like 130k. As long as you have decreased defense, you have weaken on there, it'll hit pretty hard on there. But I want her skill 3 to hit really hard on the spider. And since her skill 1 is random, it's not all going to hit the spider. Fire Knights, it's all going to hit the Fire Knight. So the Fire Knight would be fine for that if you want Giant Slayer. Dragon, same thing. The Dragon will be hit with, there's only one boss there. So the same thing goes for it. But I prefer crit damage. There is no wrong choice there. It's up to you. I think crit damage is better in the long run because you want her skill 3 to be as strong as possible. And the way to do that is with crit damage. But again, it's up to you. So look at these other abilities that I didn't choose in the offensive tree. And you'll see that they're not mandatory for what we're trying to perform here. You can use them if you want to. Totally up to you. There is no wrong move here. I'm not planning on my people dying, so I don't want any of those other ones. I wanted to come down here to crit damage, so I'm limited to this one here or this one to the side. So if I wanted shields, I could go with that. But again, it's up to what you want to pick. Look at those guides I did. If you're questioning yourself, if you want to know each individual one, look at the guide for offense that I have out there. I did that last week. We have support here. You don't have to go support. You could actually go defensive tree if you wanted to with Coldheart. The only thing I'm doing over here is getting a little bit more accuracy. A little bit more accuracy here. And again, increased accuracy. So it's not a big deal. I got this just in case I needed to increase just a slight amount if I had some kind of gear on here like crit gear or something else, which now I don't believe I do have that kind of gear on. So it's really not that big of a deal. If I wanted to just get, if you wanted to get a little bit more crit from your crit gear, or crit damage, or any of this other kind of stuff, you can use it. So I do have crit damage on her. I do have whatever else on her. So it does help out a little bit. I'll take that little bit increase because there's really nothing else in here that I care about because I just want to do damage with her. I could go over here to Evil Eye and do a decreased turn meter a little bit, or I could go over here to Cycle of Magic to get her a chance to drop the skill cooldown on a random skill, of course. But I've got 2 picked over here. I'd have to get rid of, one of these and whatnot. So really, it's totally up to you. There are no wrong choices in here. So what can Coldheart do? What kind of damage can she do? So let's look at her artifacts and see what I have on her. We have crit damage. I've got speed and crit, speed and crit, speed and crit. Speed, crit damage, and accuracy is really all I want for her. Well, not even speed. I will just take crit damage, and accuracy with Coldheart as much as possible because you saw the crit damage gloves. You see the crit damage neck. You see right here, I'm trying to get a little bit of defense on her, but I'm also getting 17% attack, which is increasing her damage as well. And I need that accuracy. You need that accuracy. Here's her total stats. You need that accuracy to be able to land that deplete turn meter. You have to have it also to land the heal reduction that we want to get on Fire Knight, right? Okay, for the end of this video, we're just going to take 2 Coldhearts into Spiders 20, have a little bit of fun, see what they can hit for. We're bringing Martyr, Bad L, we're bringing Rosin, Scarhide, 2 Coldhearts, 1 level 50, which is fine as long as she can survive. She can still put out massive amount of damage as long as she has that 70% crit and high crit damage. So I think we're going to do really well here. We should be fine. I usually only bring 1 Coldheart. That way I have a 100% success rate on my auto because nobody wants to manual, right? Nobody's got time to manual. Anyways, Coldheart, so you've seen her. You've seen what she can do. You've seen how she is. Make sure you build a team around her that keeps her alive. They can support her glass cannon ways. She is a fun champion. She is a very, very overpowered. I won't say overpowered, but she is a very unique and powerful champion, I should say. Not overpowered. So she is fun to play. She's rare. So avoid rare. Still pretty accessible by a lot of people. So if you have her, enjoy playing her. I'm going to let the end of this video play out, so you will not see me anymore, but I had fun making this Coldheart guide. Please support, like, and subscribe, and I will see you all on the next video. So I'm going to dip myself out of here, and I'll see you all soon.